Hi everyone, my name's Kit. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to chat about what's the benefit of eating meat. So this is a bit of a controversial topic. So I know people might have a very strong opinion about one thing or the other. And it came about that I'm making this video because a friend of mine, Carla, asked a question about eating meat. She feels like she wants to eat less meat because of her love for animals. But she knows the health benefits of also eating meat. So she just asked about if I could make a video. So this is a video for you, Carla. I hope you enjoy it and everyone else as well. So the first question that I want to ask is, do we actually have to eat meat? Because I think that's a really, really important way to start. And the answer is, of course not. You don't have to eat meat. There are lots of people who are vegetarians and vegans, and they are living and they are active and they are healthy. So there's no obligation of eating meat, but what are the benefits? So I wanted to kind of focus on the topic of what are the benefits of eating meat. So the first benefit of eating meat is obviously protein. You probably all heard of protein. It's a really important macronutrient, and so meat is a really great source of protein, and it's really easy to absorb. The body can use it, and it's a complete source. So protein, there's actually lots of different types of amino acid that makes up protein, and there are some that are called essential. So meat has all the essential amino acid, essential in terms of our body can't create it ourselves. So if we got these essential amino acids, the key ones, from them we can actually create other types of amino acids. Okay, the second thing that's a really benefit of eating meat is the micronutrients. So we've got, let me give you an example. So there's three things in particular. So there's a vitamin B12, iron, and zinc. So meat provides us with a really high source of all of these things, and it's more bioavailable than, say, plant sources. So not only does meat, particularly red meat, give us a greater amount of these things, so vitamin B12, iron, and zinc, but they are easier for our bodies to absorb, which is why the word bioavailable. So we don't absorb everything that we eat, 100%, but when it comes from meat sources, we absorb a greater percentage than, say, from a plant source. So if you have anemia, for example, low iron, eating red meat sources is actually a really great way to help with increasing your iron levels. So I'm going to list a range of other micronutrients that meat contains, and it's a really good source for these things. I'll put it on the screen so that you can see and read about each of these. So the first one is, say, for example, L-carnitine, which helps with fat metabolism. There's taurine, which is an amino acid that helps prevent heart disease. There is creatine, which is a performance enhancer, so it helps with our endurance, helps with our muscle growth, it helps with performance, particularly sports. There's glutathione. This is called the master antioxidant. So the best antioxidant, and it helps fight oxidative stress. It helps with inflammation, and meat is a really good source of this. There's a type of fat in meat called conjugated linoleic acid, which helps our insulin sensitivity, and is linked with mental health as well, helping that. It has a coenzyme Q10, which helps generate energy for repairing cells and maintaining cells and helping cells to grow. There's a micronutrient called choline, which is a nutrient that's important for our nervous system, and it helps with memory and our brain function. There's another amino acid called carnosine, and it helps with reducing inflammation in our body, and it helps with our immune regulation, so it helps fight with immune system. So as you can see, there's lots and lots of really, really good things that meat just provides for us. I want to tell you just about a particular research that has been done at Deakin University in Australia, in Melbourne. So there was a research team in Melbourne, and they wanted to kind of look at how our eating can actually help with our mental health. So that was their kind of key aim, looking at how if we change our eating habit, what we eat in terms of food-wise, is that going to help with our mental health, particularly depression. And so the research team went about and did a little research, and they looked at different foods like fruit, vegetable, nuts, grains, the complete gamut. And what they found in the end was that grass-fed red meat was a key thing that helped with depression. So mental health was greatly helped if someone ate grass-fed red meat. So those are two really, really important things, grass-fed and red meat. Red meat, because red meat tends to have a greater amount of the micronutrients and the nutrients than white meat, which is why they said red meat. And grass-fed, because when let's say for a cow, for example, eat grass instead of being fed grains, that grass is converted into a different type of fatty acid in the muscle. So that when we eat the meat, we actually get a greater amount of the CLA, so the conjugated linoleic acid, and also omega-3. And those things actually help with our mental health. So I really, just want to encourage you to kind of consider, if you're eating meat already, to swap over to grass-fed meat. And I think this is one of the reasons that I kind of, continue to eat meat, because I think my mental health is important to me. And if eating, grass-fed red meat is going to help, then why not? And the research team, one of the persons was actually vegetarian, and they were so convinced by the research that they actually started eating meat. And I'm not saying they were eating it every day, but the research is like 3 to 4 times a week of grass-fed red meat. So they were so convinced by what they found that they were like, okay, I'm going to start including it. And if mental health is something that you want to improve, then let me encourage you to try grass-fed red meat to kind of help with it. And so you might be thinking, why grass-fed red meat? So first of all, it's about the types of fatty acids in it. So it has a greater amount of omega-3 fatty acids, somewhere between 3 to 5 times. And that's really, really quite high and amazing. And the second thing with the fatty acid is that the ratio. So there's different types of fatty acid, like omega-3 and omega-6 might be 2 that you've heard of. The ratio between them is really, really perfect and ideal in the grass-fed. So that actually helps with reducing the inflammation, which is why grass-fed red meat actually has greater benefit for our mental health. In the grass-fed meat, they also have a greater amount of the conjugated linoleic acid. And with the conjugated linoleic acid, it has the benefit of anti-cancer, it's an antioxidant, and it also helps with our fat deposit, reducing the amount of fatty acid in our blood as well. So that's, just 3 really, really great benefits that also helps with our mental health. So in the grass-fed animal, the micronutrient levels are much higher. So the glutathione, which is the master antioxidant, it has a great amount, so more antioxidant, and also the micronutrients like the A, vitamin B, zinc, iron, magnesium, all of those are actually greater amounts in the grass-fed animal, which seems to help with our mental health, which is why that's a benefit. So let's all put it all together. And so let's go back to the original question that Carla had about, how much meat to eat, trying to reduce the amount. So first of all, yes, reduce the amount. You don't need to eat it every day. So look, from the research study, 3 to 4 times a week is sufficient. So reducing. 2, each time that you eat, thinking about the portion sizes, you actually don't need to eat that much meat. We probably eat more meat than we actually need, most of us anyway. So good kind of a rule of thumb is looking at the palm size. So this is my palm size. This is how much meat that's need to be on my plate each time I eat. Number 3, grass-fed red meat. So when you're eating meat, choosing grass-fed red meat is going to be the best way to maximize the amount of nutrients that you get, the maximize, health benefits in terms of your mental health. So choosing red meat, which is grass-fed, that would be really, really excellent. So it's probably worth even saying, just as an add-on, to eliminate processed meat. If you want to reduce your meat intake, then the processed meat isn't going to give you the nutrients that you would get from, like, for example, a steak. So processed meats, things like ham, salami, sausages, if you're trying to cut down on meat, then maybe just cut them out and focus on the grass-fed meats that are like steaks or pieces of meat that would actually give you more benefit. If this video was helpful for you, then give it a like and share it with your friends. I'm going to post down below in the description box a blog article that particularly to the Deakin research that I've just been referencing, and also the journal article as well. So you've got the blog article if you don't want a technical reading, just something light reading, and if you want the full article, you can click on the journal article so that you can read about the full research. All right, I'll catch you next time. Bye! There's a range of things that grass-fed animals, particularly the red meat like the beef, the lamb, or the kangaroo, not the beef, the cow, it has a type of fat called conjugated linoleic acid. In the grass-fed animals, they also have a higher amount of the conjugated linoleic acid, which is a type of acid. Actually, processed meat is not actually healthy for us. So I'm talking about things like ham, sausages, salami.